Sky versus the Minnesota Lynx game. You all know me and Mama was there. We recorded a video after the game was over with our various thoughts about the game. Ultimately, the Chicago Sky took down the Minnesota Lynx. The final score of that game was 87 Chicago Sky, 81 Minnesota Lynx. In this game, we saw from the get-go, Angel, Kamilla, and Ariel Atkins kind of dominate. We saw a lot of high-low action between Angel and Kamilla down low, and we saw a lot of sort of vintage Ariel Atkins when in her Washington Mystics days. The reason why we traded for her, like we saw that on full display on Saturday, as basically they were kind of unstoppable. Crazy first half for Angel in particular, but the rest of the game just. Yeah, we just saw a lot of fantastic play by the Chicago Sky. But player of the game for sure was Ariel Atkins, 27 points. Put some respect on her name. I know that the narrative is to just hype up Angel and Kamilla. However, they don't win this game. Even if Angel and Kamilla do exactly what they did on Saturday, they don't win it without Ariel Atkins. So while people are talking about the great game that Kamilla and Angel had in the same breath, you got to talk about the great game that Ariel Atkins had as well. It's only fair. It's only fair. Okay, it is only fair. But double doubles for both Kamilla and Angel, and I mean the skyscrapers are just getting started. I'm just saying. Okay, and also a thing to note in that game, which we'll talk about more in just a sec. But in that game, we saw the Minnesota Lynx decide not to play Alyssa Pili in that game. She had a DNP in that one, and then we found out just hours later that Alyssa Pili got waived from the team. I'll talk about that more in the next segment. However, it is kind of weird because you go on a road trip where you're going to be gone for a couple of days. You don't play in the first game, and hours after that. What, you get a phone call or the GM talks to you in person? I mean, because everyone's there in Chicago, and they say, hey, sorry, but you just got waived. It's very awkward, but we'll talk about that more in just a sec. Next up, let's talk about the wild game that was the Valkyries versus the Aces, guys. This was the game that A'ja Wilson wore, that throwback jersey, right? She had the do-rag and she had throwback jersey on. And this was also A'ja Wilson's return game, and she just went on and cooked. Okay, this game was basically A'ja and Jackie Young versus the Golden State Valkyries. That's basically what it was, because A'ja Wilson, I mean, the MVP as she is, 37 points, guys. And crazy stats, 12 of 16 from the field. 12 of 16, guys. Wild efficiency for A'ja. And you're wondering, okay, well, if she only shot 12 field goals and only one was a three, how did she end up with 34 points? Well, the free throw line. A'ja Wilson had 12 free throws in Saturday's game, made 9 of them. Ultimately, 39 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. Basically, guys, 0 turnovers. Basically, guys, A'ja Wilson was in her bag. She made her return, and she was like, you know what? Nah, we've been playing like crap, okay? This team has been playing like crap, and we need to do something about it. We are, at that point, they were 9-11 on the season, 9-11, so 9 wins, 11 losses. And on Saturday, she was like, nah, get this team on my back, and we about to win some games. Because we just lost to the Mystics. This can't happen. Let's go. And then it wasn't only A'ja Wilson who was cooking in that game on Saturday, because while we talk about how great of a game A'ja had, we also equally have to talk about how great of a game Jackie Young had. Now, Jackie Young has, in my opinion, been a little sporadic this year, right? Some games she has been flat out amazing, and in other games she's been like, okay, And not yesterday, Saturday's game, she was flat out phenomenal. 30 points for her. She shot about 64% from the field. She also was another player who got to the free throw line like crazy and was making her shots. She was rocking out, guys. Absolutely rocking out. So it was Batman and Robin basically for the Las Vegas Aces. And for the Golden State Valkyries, it really was 2 against the whole team. Because when we see the Golden State Valkyries, once again, the thing I love to see, and yes, the Valkyries did lose the game. Absolutely, they did lose the game. However, the thing I love to see about the Golden State Valkyries is how much cohesion they have, how much of a team they really are, where you can score 102 points in a game and not have one player scoring 20 points. Not one. The highest scoring player for the Golden State Valkyries in that game was Janelle Salon and Tiffany Hayes, who both had 16 points apiece. This is what I love about Golden State because they really are a team. It really is everybody who makes this thing happen. Now, overall, there wasn't much defense had, in this game. However, I just love the way that Golden State plays as a team. And yes, that they have an opportunity to win at the end of the game. They absolutely did. But, it is what it is. Yes, you end up losing this game. However, really good season so far for the Golden State Valkyries. And I am I'm loving what I'm seeing by the Valks. They just, it's hard. It's hard to win when you got both Asia and Jackie scoring 30 plus. So, it's understandable, but I do got to continue to give a shout out, as I feel like I always do, to the Golden State Valkyries, because the way that they play on the offensive end, it's smooth, guys. It's smooth basketball. Low turnovers for the Golden State Valkyries. It's just great basketball. I just had to talk about it. Yes, they lose. However, this is a really good team. Really, really, really good team. Okay?